Ahoy, fellow gamers and sea rovers. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the turbulent waters of Ubisoft's Skull and Bones, a game that's been making waves since its announcement in 2017. But it hasn't been smooth sailing. With multiple delays, this pirate adventure has faced its fair share of storms, stirring up a sea of doubts and critiques. But the tides are turning. I recently got my hands on the latest closed beta of Skull and Bones. After charting its course for a good 6 hours, I've gathered some valuable loot. My initial thoughts and impressions, just for you. We're all wondering, will Skull and Bones be the treasure we've been waiting for? Or will it end up lost in the depths like the infamous Queen Anne's Revenge? No need to walk the plank of suspense any longer, my friends. I've set sail in its world and, I must say, the voyage was more thrilling than I expected. The game shows promise, though it's not without its rough seas. Will it claim the title of Game of the Year 2024? Well, that remains to be seen. Join me as we navigate through the ins and outs of Skull and Bones, exploring what Ubisoft has in store for us in this new pirate franchise. Let's raise the anchor and set sail on this preview together. Skull and Bones breaks away from the typical solo campaigns we're used to, like those in Assassin's Creed. Instead of a fixed storyline, it offers some key characters, but leaves plenty of room for you to shape your own adventure. Ubisoft's latest game is all about embracing the pirate's life, your aim. To climb up the ranks and become the ultimate pirate. That means raking in riches, building up an impressive fleet, and earning respect among your fellow pirates. But here's the kicker. This isn't a lone wolf journey. The standout feature of Skull and Bones is its multiplayer PvP mode, where the real pirate showdowns happen. When it comes to visuals, Skull and Bones truly stands out. The game offers a feast for the eyes. From vibrant islands to the expansive Indian Ocean, it's a visual spectacle. The water rendering is simply breathtaking, showcasing the immense effort Ubisoft Singapore put into it. Moreover, the dynamic weather adds an incredible ambience. Imagine being amidst a storm with striking lightning and waves that even Jack Sparrow would find intimidating. Now, exploring the island's interiors might have its ups and downs. The big town, St. Anne, in this beta is exceptionally crafted. While some smaller towns might not be as impressive, they still maintain a realistic touch. After all, not all islands back in the day boasted bustling towns. The character designs are commendable. Whether it's your character or the NPCs, the attention to detail is palpable. Ubisoft has truly excelled in the graphics department, significantly enhancing the overall Skull and Bones experience.
Captain Fuck up here. I got a French hound sniffing right up my sweaty arsehole. Get him out of my sight.
And let's talk about the soundtrack. It's top tier. Those pirate tunes scattered throughout add a layer that really amps up the whole experience. The game kicks off with a quick introduction, where your ship meets its demise. at the hands of the British fleet. From there, you jump into the crucial phase of shaping your pirate character. Your initial ship isn't exactly a grand vessel, but more of a small bark, setting the tone for your beginnings. After a brief tutorial familiarizing you with the basics, the adventure kicks off right away. Your journey begins towards St. Anne, ground zero for your pirate journey. I'll keep things light on spoilers here, as this phase sets the stage for your escapades. As the game progresses, you navigate through St. Anne to construct your first substantial ship. Here's where the crafting system takes center stage, a significant aspect of the game. In fact, you can't really buy ships or weapons directly, at least not from what I was able to see in the beta. You have to collect plans from merchants or loot them, and then have all that crafted by the appropriate NPC. Crafting means you're spending quite some time scouring for materials in the waves. This might turn out to be a bit of a grind, but fingers crossed, maybe Ubisoft's thrown in some rare items to make it more thrilling. Regarding quests, I spent my 6-hour beta time mostly on the main story, but truth be told, the quest felt a bit rinse and repeat. Fetch this, sink that, attack here. Let's hope Ubisoft's holding out on the good stuff for the full game. We're talking more depth, more complexity in those quests beyond the basic tasks.
The rumours my French agent's been feeding me. It's bigger than I thought. A Compagnie merchant convoy carrying a season's worth of goods is sailing through the Red Isles.
Skull and Bones has a touch of RPG in it. They've got the XP system, but here, it's all about your infamy. Basically, it's your reputation as a pirate that matters most. The higher your infamy, the more doors swing open for you. It's the key to accessing better resources and cooler opportunities. You rack up that infamy by taking on contracts from vendors, cozying up to local factions, and hanging out with the big shots of piracy. It's all about boosting your street cred in the pirate realm. The core of the game is hands down the ship battles. While I didn't dive into PvP, the PvE side offers plenty of chances for pirates to trade cannonballs. The system's pretty straightforward. You aim for the weak spots on the enemy ship to deal more damage. It's simple, but it works like a charm. Even with this simplicity, the combat's top-notch. You've got choices: charge in and hope to take less damage, or be strategic by analysing the enemy ship's weapons and defences in advance. How? Easy. Just use your spyglass to scope out their setup. Some ships lack cannons at the back, making it prime time to attack from there and deal damage without taking any in return. But they're not going to sit still for that. They'll try to turn and shoot back, so it's all about your approach at the wheel. When battles kick off, the camera switches to a first-person view from the ship's helm. This heightens the immersion, plus you get a sight and a gauge, showing when your cannons are ready to reload. Once you've dealt enough damage to your foes, you can board their ship. This isn't like Assassin's Creed Black Flag or Odyssey-style assaults. It's more of a cinematic scene. Boarding fetches you a bit more loot compared to just sinking the ship. At first glance, I felt a bit let down. I was hoping for some epic pirate sword fights, but thinking it through, I get where the developers were coming from. Skull and Bones is all about PvP action, and integrating sword fighting could have been tricky in my opinion. Stick with me. Imagine boarding an enemy ship in a PvP zone. A swarm of pirates could just seize your ship, or wait for you to return to the helm and sink you. So, unless you had safe areas to board, it would have created a big imbalance in the game. Considering all this, it's clearer why the developers stuck to ship-to-ship combat. Even on land, you can't whip out a sword to duel other pirates. The only way to throw down is swapping gunpowder at sea. It's a bit of a disappointment, but I reckon it makes sense in the grand scheme of things. I couldn't test out the PvP during the beta, so I'll keep it short on that and save it for when Skull and Bones officially drops. On the flip side, the co-op feature was part of the game. While sailing solo in the Indian Ocean is doable, bringing in backup to take down an enemy fleet or attack a fort adds a nice layer of strategy and fun. Hopefully, Ubisoft smooths out some wrinkles before the game's release. For instance, there's this issue where your comrade has to watch the quest's cinematic footage to join you, leading to some serious waiting times.
All hands on deck! To your battle section! Body fire, Captain! Let's come out and see there!
During battles, you can ask for help, and some players pitch in. It's a relief, especially when you're facing off against 4 or 5 ships that gang up on you during certain fleet attacks. Co-op becomes a lifeline for survival in those moments. In this beta, the map is limited to St. Anne and its neighbouring area. Based on the game's intro and other announcements, there are plenty of other maps waiting in the wings. They promise hours of exploration, spanning from the African coast to the breathtaking East Indies, and Madagascar's paradisiacal landscapes. I gave this Skull and Bones beta a go on Xbox Series X, opting for the quality mode. Overall, I didn't face any major issues. It's smooth, boasts a great field of view, and I didn't notice any frame rate drops. However, the seas weren't bursting with ships, so it remains to be seen how things pan out with more ships on the map. For a beta version, it's pretty polished, and it feels like we're edging close to the final product. The main issue I encountered was the black loading screen, without any animation when leaving the ship. It felt quite empty and lacked any visual interest. It would have been far more beneficial if the engaging cinematics used during crafting were implemented here, adding some excitement to the disembarkation process. That was a bit of a letdown. Besides this minor drawback, transitioning while at sea is seamless. No loading times while navigating the map. And that brings us to the end of our preview of Skull and Bones beta. As many of you know, the game's journey to release has been a choppy one, with multiple delays causing waves of concern among the gaming community. There was a widespread expectation that Skull and Bones would be a spiritual successor to Assassin's Creed Black Flag. However, as I've seen in our playthrough, it stands apart, charting its own course in the gaming seas. My personal takeaway from the beta, it's overwhelmingly positive. I'm genuinely excited to set sail again in the vast Indian Ocean once the game officially drops. Sure, it might not be every gamer's treasure, especially if you're looking for more action on land or classic shipboarding battles. But I believe Ubisoft has the compass to steer this ship right. With enough content and a robust PvP system, Skull and Bones has the potential to be one of the gaming world's pleasant surprises in 2024. So, keep your spyglasses trained on the horizon for the FinalBoss ship. We'll be making waves in the Indian Ocean come February 2024. If you've enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more gaming adventures. Until our paths cross again, keep sailing and gaming.